started as a manager of capital projects at the City of Port Coquitlam in January of 2016, and my very first project was the Blakeburn Lagoons Park. Remediation of sanitary detention lagoons. The lagoons are 11 hectares big. They've been decommissioned since the 1970s, and although Mother Nature has done a fantastic job remediating the site, the levels of cadmium, the copper, the zinc, the metals found in the sludge made it pretty much impossible for the city to be able to open it up for public use. POCO's strategic plan focuses on creating a sense of community well-being. It talks about economic strength and sustainability. And I knew that these strategic goals were now my project goals, and they were now my goals. We ended up awarding the consulting assignment to ISL Engineering. They're a multidisciplinary firm, expertise in civil engineering and landscape architecture. They put together a really solid team for this project. I was very excited to work with them. So now we've got our super team of experts. I've got my strategic goals. I can now focus on my project goals. Like, what are we actually trying to build in this gigantic space? And how do you remediate a site this large for under $2.8 million? To answer the first project goal, we hosted a public open house. We really wanted to solicit information from our residents. What do you want to see in this park? And we presented them with two ideas. The first idea was called a people's park. Think boardwalks, more sodded areas, places for picnic tables and benches, a park that's more geared towards human interaction. The second idea we presented to them was called nature's renewal. Think wildlife habitats, bird watching, lots of different types of vegetation, essentially trying to transform this space back to what it may have been prior to construction of the man-made sanitary lagoon. We spoke to residents, homeowners, community members for over 3 hours straight, and there was excitement in the air. People were interested, they asked great questions, they really wanted to be informed, and all of the comments we received were really quite positive. We had a direction, and nature's renewal was it. So now that we knew the type of park we were trying to build, we can now focus on our second project goal, which was how do you remediate a site this big for under $2.8 million? And to do that, we focused on 4 methods. The first method, pretty simple, keep all the materials on site. I didn't have enough funding to haul away all of that contaminated materials. Second method, introduce some water flow through this site. We deepened the lagoons past groundwater level, connected them with culverts, introduced an inlet, which was actually a storm sewer pipe from the Riverside community, and an overflow outlet to the Pitt River. This created some water flow through the site. The third thing we did was bring in lots of new materials. This new material was used to dilute the contamination, it was used to amend the soil so that it was a good planting medium, and it was also used to cap off any areas that were still accessible to the public. And last but not least, we brought in over 100,000 phytoremediation plants, which we planted throughout the site, which not only helps to naturally remediate the earth, but also creates this beautiful naturalistic environment we were striving for. So add those 4 methods and the idea of nature's renewal in hand, bam. We created this beautiful park design. Construction of the site was pretty straightforward. It was essentially an earth-moving exercise, a cut-fill balance. You know, you dig up the lagoons here, you mix it with some new materials there, you put some new material on top, and then you plant it. Pretty straightforward. I'm oversimplifying a little bit. We did move over 75,000 tons of material, and it took months and months to work a site this large, but we're very much still on track for our grand opening planned for spring of 2018. So this project has come a long way from its inception in the early 2000s to finally obtaining grant funding for the project to construction completion earlier this year. We've been able to hit all of our project and strategic goals while creating a beautiful naturalistic space that has over 1.6 kilometers of looped walking trails, viewing platforms, habitats for birds and bats and small mammals. We brought in over 70 different types of indigenous vegetation, which will eventually mature to create a wetland and a forest. Our small community was able to transform an abandoned sanitary lagoon into a beautiful, naturalistic, wildlife-focused habitat that can be enjoyed by our residents for hundreds of years to come. Thank you.